Yo, what's going on, Tweedie? I hope you're all super well. Welcome to episode 51 of hashtag Ask Tweedie, the football show where you guys send in your football related questions. I do my best to answer them. Today we have the new Canon 80D that I'm recording from. I'm looking at myself in the little lens thing. I think we're all good to go. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Hopefully it doesn't go in and out of focus. Now, I haven't shaved this, so if you don't want to look at my beard, I'll be shaving it tomorrow morning. Then, yeah, just don't watch the screen and just listen to me talk, which is just as fun as well, I guess. You get the value. And, yeah, so, starting off. The first question that we're going to go with, if you guys are unfamiliar with this show, I do 3 questions every episode. Very football related. Don't ask me silly things like Messi, Ronaldo. It's an in-depth Q&A rather than, the Messi, Ronaldo questions. Let's keep it civilized. Let's keep it, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Let's just keep it smart and, let's learn from each other. So the first question is, how do you block out the noise when you play? Like people yelling, shoot. This comes in from FNF.98. Also, if you want to leave your questions, make sure you do so in the comments below. I'll be uploading them or writing them down in this document here. And yeah, your name gets a shout out as well. So you may as well. Now, blocking out the noise when you play is something that is extremely difficult. To this day, I'm sure top players find it difficult. I've seen players at Crawley Town, they get yelled at from the stands when they make a pass or something, that someone will yell out to the fullback, get higher. And he just looks and goes, what? Or he says something a bit worse than what. But it's difficult. I had an instance the other week where I got yelled at by my teammate in front of goal when I scored the second goal of my hat-trick in the most recent hat-trick video, and he yelled out, time. And in that split second, I registered that he said time, and I looked up and saw that no one was around me. So I took my touch, had a shot, and we scored. So there's an extent where you have to block out noise. A lot of times I think I get the ball and I go to dribble and people are yelling, play. But that's the sort of time where you got to block it out. So I think in instances, you need to understand when to block it out and when not to. I think it's extremely difficult as well to block out people. Sometimes you get silly people who like to yell at you just before you shoot and they go, or whatever they do. And yeah, that's difficult, but I think the more you practice that and try to just mentally be focused, the less you're going to be concerned about the outside stuff. The biggest thing is focus on the noise that can actually help you. So, if someone yells time, or if someone yells man on, or if someone yells pass, I think those are the big things. If someone's yelling shoot to me, I'm not going to shoot just because someone yells shoot. I know when is best for me to shoot. But I think that very informative information of time, man on, turn, I trust people with that, and at times I even trust a call with a pass. There's been assists I've had where I haven't even looked. The ball's come from here and I hear the guy yell in behind, or he says, yeah. I flick it over without looking and he goes through and go one-on-one with the keeper. And so sometimes you need to trust the guy. I've also looked before and gone, okay, he's in a 1v1 situation. He can definitely get up on his man if I play him in behind. So I have an idea of what's there. Sometimes you just got to trust the call as well. So like I say, try to listen to the informative information, block out it's not necessarily even instructions, because that informative stuff is instructions. Try and block out the stuff that you know how to do, the shooting. I know not to shoot from outside the box if in my line of sight there's a body. So why would I shoot if someone's yelling me shoot when I think a pass is a better option or a dribble is a better option? So take away from that, dribble, turn, time, man on, bounce, 1-2, stuff like that. Even 1-2 is a difficult one because maybe it's not the best option. Limit it to that and try and block out the other stuff. That's what I'd say. You know what's best. You have the ball. You can see what's actually in front of you. Second question, do you ever feel self-doubt? If so, how do you get through it? What drives you? This doesn't come in from anyone. Self-doubt. In fact, I think the biggest self-doubt I had would have been a long time ago. When I first started this journey, I'm going to go look at what video it was, But I played a game, and it was for Plymouth Parkway Reserves. For all you OG viewers, you would know exactly who Plymouth Parkway Reserves are. And it was one of the toughest games I've ever played in my life. The field was literally on a hill like this. And I was playing right wing here. And so to dribble, I'd have to dribble upwards and then do something. And if you try and dribble forwards, it always goes like that. And so you start falling down. It was horrible. But I came away from that game because Dad had videoed it. So I had the footage and I was able to look back on it. And so if I can find it here somewhere. Here we go. Trial match for a team in England. Day 33. And I watched that game. Oh no, I think, no, the actual analysis is day 34. And I watched that game. And I remember the exact moment I was on the train with Dad and I'm watching and I'm going, man, I can't even play well for a tier 10, 11 club. Like, how do I expect to make it pro? And this was just when I first arrived in England. I was just looking to play for a team. And I just said to Dad, I'm like, man, I almost was in tears. I don't think I actually cried, but it was a time where I'm just thinking, I suck. That's what I was saying to Dad. I suck. Why am I doing this? I suck. And he said, don't be silly, whatever. You know, Dad's always encouraging me, and I'm looking at him going, I can't make a single pass, blah, blah, blah. I can't beat a player. I should be able to score. So, number one, I was putting too much expectation on myself. So that's the biggest thing that leads to self-doubt, I would say, when you put these expectations on yourself that you have to score a goal every single game, that you have to be top goal scorer, you have to make every pass, you have to dribble past at least 4 players in a game. That's what leads you to self-doubt. The second thing is, be realistic with yourself. I think in that game, it's difficult for me to say. In a lot of these videos, I'd like to say a lot of things that, you know, people will watch it and it's perceived as an excuse, but you guys who watch the videos understand that these fields that I'm playing on at the moment are extremely difficult. The conditions are tough, but on that field, it was like this. So how do I expect myself to play well on a field that's literally on a diagonal? You know, it's being real with yourself. So maybe it's not the conditions, but in saying that, don't, because again, this is why I don't say stuff like this in my videos, because just by me saying that, it's almost like I've just made the field an excuse for my poor performance. So I don't want you guys to get in the hang of that. You know, you should be able to perform without excuses, but you need to be real as well, which is what I would say. So on top of that, I hadn't played in a while. I was new to England. I was new to the English game. I hadn't really practiced with a team. So there are a lot of things that went into it. And again, it's not finding excuses. It's being real. And I need you guys to understand that. I know I've made excuses in the past. I'll get into that in another video, maybe in a actual day video, a 365-day challenge video, because I have a really cool story from my mentor. So if you guys want to hear that, then let me know down in the comments. But yeah, how did I get through it? Well, yeah, I put away the expectations. I thought to myself, well, look, does it really matter? Look at the field, blah, blah, blah. And like I've told you guys before, one of the things I love to do if I'm ever down or I think I have a poor performance, or if I don't think I have the ability to do anything, I go back and I watch my highlights video, because my most recent highlights video I'd say it's pretty damn good. And I'm not gonna lie, it's decent. But in that video, I watch it and I go, okay, that's me. I scored that goal from outside the box. I remember taking that touch. I remember the guy was in front of me and he didn't know what to do. I'm just thinking about this goal, the first goal on the highlights video. The guy was in front of me, he didn't know what to do because I'd stopped the ball and the keeper was off his line slightly, and I saw that, so I chipped it with a bit of power over the back post. And I'm visualizing these things. I'm going, man, I calculated all of that in the matter of 0.5 seconds. So that's why I always say you need a highlights video, not only to send off to agents, but for these little things as well, these mindset reasons. So that's why I think it's important. What drives me? Just not wanting to work in an office for the rest of my life. I want to be a pro. I want to do this forever. So moving on, last question. Is it too late to go pro at age 18? Now, I've touched on this before, and the answer is no. It's flat out no. For you guys who completely understand this, brilliant. That's all you need to know. The answer is no, it's not too late. For the guys who don't quite understand it and are still in that sort of mindset of, man, I'm going to be 20 soon, or I'm looking at Daniel Arzani being in the World Cup squad. Why aren't I there? I'm 19. I'm not going to ever make it. The answer is, you know, we look at these top players. I always use Mbappe as an example, who's 19 now. He's won the World Cup. He's won the League One title. Has he been in a Champions League final? I don't know, but he's played in Champions League. He's won Golden Boot or whatever it is for the UEFA Young Player of the Year. He has won so much, and these top players are one in billions. Because there's 7 billion people in the world? I don't know. I couldn't care less, really. But it's a 1 in billion chance that an Mbappe is going to be born. And, you know, he's Mbappe, we're someone else. So, you know, you might not become pro at that PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona level. I'm not saying no one will, but I think we all look at our age and try and compare that to them. I think at the end of the day, I always say this, a club needs someone that will get them titles. They want goals. They want to win games. And if a 17-year-old is going to do that for them, they'll get the 17-year-old. If a 28-year-old or a 33-year-old is going to do that for them, they're going to get them. So I'm going to be pushing until I'm 40 and can't play anymore because my muscle and body can't take it. But, you know, you guys do you. If you don't think you're going to make it by 25 and you want to work on something else, that's completely fine by everybody else. I think a lot of people in this world kind of go, you need to be doing this by age 25. You should give up on football because you need to focus on this. At the end of the day, it's your life. And if you want to work on football, you got to make it work. Maybe you have to work 2-3 jobs and play football. So, look, I don't think there's an age limit to becoming a pro. I don't even know what question to search in Google, but I'm sure there's tons of players out there. Jamie Vardy is a great example who signed his first pro contract at whatever age it was. We just see all the young players, and I think our mindset is completely focused on England, and the reason that they produce so many young players is because of their academies. If you look in Australia, there are very little young players going through, which means, look, if you want to come and sign a pro contract in Australia at the age of 26 and you have the contacts, then maybe you could sign your first pro contract here. So that's the way it works. I'm going to end the video there. Don't get discouraged if you're too old, not even too old, if you're 19, 20, whatever, 25, 30, and you still want to become a pro, don't get discouraged. Do you work at it, become a pro, Team Tweedie. I'm going to end it there. Make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're around here, join the hashtag AskTweedieFamily, and I'll see you guys in the next video.